We'll do it live.
Okay.
We'll do it live. F it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. F***ing thing sucks.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back to the Capital Mindset live update. Let me actually change that, so that way that doesn't spam on us. Let me actually make sure this widget is working properly because I want to be able to get everyone's comments out. So let's see, this widget has to be there. Let's move that there. Okay, so just gotta make sure this works here. Hope everyone's having a great day as always. And don't worry, I got a question in the Discord, like whether or not people are going to be able to ask questions. Of course you can. There's never an episode where you can't do that. And some of you are speculating it's clickbait. I'll tell you it's not actually clickbait, but I'll explain why. Okay, so let me see this. It should work. And I should be able to unsee, see again, and then... Yep, there we go. Hello, hello. I see Kingdom saying hi, Dad. Okay, so what's that brown thing on the screen? What is the brown thing that you're talking about? There's something else on the screen? Did you hear? Did your lawyer tell you not? No, it's not that at all. It's not that at all. So as you can see, well, the portfolio actually you see before you was something that was started earlier this year, and as far as like just to showcase and have discussions around it. And so far, it's actually done really well. I'll go over like the actual performance, and I haven't shown you guys here on YouTube the performance of the portfolio over time. Well, I have to an extent, but it's been kind of wonky. I haven't shown like the brokerage statements or anything like that, which I'll showcase the brokerage statements, and that's why I'll leave you guys off. But this is going to be the final portfolio update for a long time, at least on YouTube. And there's a reason for that, okay? And the reason for that at the end of the day is that this is fairly public. You guys weren't able to see, of course, the dollar amounts, right? And that's for privacy. That's my own decision. And even in these brokerage statements, I've blocked out the dollar sign because that's not important. What matters is the allocation, the scale, etc. And you guys can make your own assumptions regarding the size and all that. That's all on you guys. I'll never confirm or deny anything. But we'll go over some of the reasons as to why. I'll cut to the chase, okay? And so the reason why is I'm going to be making some significant changes. And at the end of the day, I want to focus on making sure that I can have a cool, level-headed, let's say, ability to make decisions for myself that are financially good, okay? So, and I don't have to worry too much about what the, for example, someone on the internet copying me. It's at the end of the day something I have to contend with that I, for one, would never want someone who's not in the same situation as I to copy me. And what if I'm wrong? And no matter what I say, because I know that I can just say all I want, don't follow my investment and don't copy me or whatever, and people will still will. So I didn't want to have that at the back of my mind. Maybe for some people that I've spoken to, they're like, okay, well, why do you care or anything like that? I'll care. So I don't want to have to mentally think about that in the back of my mind. I just want to focus mainly on myself and my own investments. And so, but the portfolio has done really, really well this year. And again, I'll get to that. But as far as the individual positions go, I'll kind of go over without getting into too much detail. Of course, people in the community, if they ask, just as they tell us about their portfolio positions, I'm not going to be like, oh, I'm not going to tell you or anything like that. It's within the realm of conversation. We can always discuss it and stuff like that. But it's going to become a bit more private, for at least for the time being. What I'm going to be doing anyways, regardless of all of this, is I'll still be doing portfolio updates. But like I told you guys this before, YouTube in a way is like a vlog for me, a way for me to document my thoughts over time. Like if you guys go into the past investments tab here, you can kind of see like all of these are moments in time where I've, throughout the YouTube channel where I've been doing this, and my thought process as to why I was selling what I'm selling, how much am I selling of it in terms of percentage, and it kind of links you through the thought process as far as those investments go. I'm going to keep that going, but all the videos are going to be privated. And that's going to be, again, for myself, because it's cool to have it on YouTube. And, no one's going to see them, but they're for them to be there. And if in the future, it's like a way of just having all that documented. So That's how I see this. So some of you are, well, I'll get to your questions, but yeah, the portfolio is going to be a lot more, I guess, different. There's going to be some changes. And what I'm going to kind of leave you guys off with, and it's for you guys who are looking for the answer, so to speak. The answer is more simple than you think, right? And we've talked about it in the past. You can find solace in that in the investing approach of dollar cost averaging into low cost index funds and tax advantage accounts is the most successful strategy. I've designed it as much as possible that, even if you tried, there's a latency between the actual updates, right? You can't really truly copy it. And I think that's not healthy for the investing community. And I don't think it's healthy for investors as a whole. And I want to also leave everyone off with the caution on the predatory nature that, what started Capital Mindset in the first place, to do its part in a way to try to combat it or alleviate it or just discuss it, bring it to light. On YouTube, many of you guys are on this channel very familiar with what's happened over time. And I'll kind of go over some of the things that you want to make sure. But anytime someone claims to have, like let's say the secret sauce, how the best trading strategy, or so to speak, really put some thought into that. If in reality they're not going to share it openly, and especially not for just a measly amount of money, like a couple grand. So it is what it is. Is your portfolio in rank in order of most important to you, or is this just random? What? I don't know what that question is, Classic Heroes. Rephrase the question, I can answer it, definitely. But your portfolio rank in order of most important to you or just random? Explain that. Right now it's ranked in allocation, but the allocations here are not actually up to date. There already have been changes, but I'm kind of just having it up in front of you for a point. Any plans to make more active on other platforms than Discord? Some of us are older than you. I have actually, I'm becoming more active on Spotify. I'm also becoming more active on, what's the website called? Spotify, Apple Music, as I'm still working on that one, and Substack. So I have a podcast on Substack. That's more of like podcast content more than anything. It's not really like a video format. But this is where the video format is. Discord is where I basically it allows people to talk to me more directly outside of the comment section, which is the good part. And it's more real time. I do sometimes random calls, and I do a Sunday call with some of the other members. So today's Sunday. So we had our call today about, I think it was like 3 hours when we ended it, the recording. I did follow Fufu, made great long-term with TTCF. So yeah, I just wanted to say this is going to be, again, this is not clickbait. This actually is going to be the final public one, because I'm still going to, again, be doing them privately and then posting them on YouTube privately. So no one's going to see them. You guys aren't going to see them. Maybe one day in the future, I'll make them public again, and I'll just make those videos public, but if anyone wanted to see them. But for now, they're just going to be filmed and put on privately. So right now, the portfolio, I've told you guys this in the past. I used to not be as diversified as I am. Right now, I'm a bit more diversified than the past, Fabio. And what I kind of going to be doing going forward is focusing a lot more on my main bets. And as I discussed with some of you in the community, my wife and I, we actually are kind of veering away from buying rental properties and actually going to be dedicating more. Like we decided, the market's just not good in our area, and the rates have really risen to the point where it doesn't really make so much sense for us. So we're just going to be focusing on just our equities, and it's less of a headache. And so that alleviated a lot of decent amount of buying power for me. No, that's a good theory, but no. And I'll be looking forward to it. I want Fabio to dance on TikTok. I'm not going to be dancing on TikTok. I got food. Oh, yeah, Fuhat, did you see the food I posted on the Discord? I just went out with a buddy of mine. We had a good amount of food. Right, Noel? That was good. Okay, so I guess I'll get right to it. I don't even know what background this has. So the executive bathroom, that's what this office is. So the first thing I'll kind of show you guys, and I'll show you from my own brokers. This is allocated across all my accounts, and it's showing from the all the accounts where they all existed simultaneously. I think the only one that's missing out of here is my M1 Finance account, but my M1 Finance account is little tiny account, about like $800 in it. So it's not going to be actually making any difference. And there's only one position in the M1 Finance account. So I'm not even using it properly. I had M1 Finance only to understand the platform and get a feel for it. But what I'm going to show you, I've already shared this with you guys in the community. So you guys, this is all no different. So I have the numbers blocked out, obviously. And then we're going to go over from there. I can compare it to different, let's say, indices. So the first one we're going to begin was with the S&P 500. So this is for when, here, how do I do just desktop? And then I'll open up to questions, and then we're going to cut it because that's basically all I wanted to tell you guys. So this is the first one, and let me actually remove this. So as you can see, this is all with all the accounts. It's with the max when all the accounts existed. The measurement time frame is November 22, 2019, November 3rd, 2022. So Friday or Thursday. I think that's Thursday. And the cumulative time-weighted return, 64.82%. S&P 500 over that time period, 19.82%. And dollar figures are blocked out. And if in case you wanted to see it compared to the NASDAQ Composite, 21.59%. And again, same thing as before. Dollar figures blocked out. You can have your own imagination. And then this is comparing it to the emerging markets. That one has performed terribly at negative 10.63%. So really nice to compare it to that one. For this time frame, it looks a lot better, especially after that. And so again, if you guys were ever wondering, I told you guys from the very beginning how things were going to function regarding portfolio updates. I don't show options, don't show specialty products because that's not even I don't think that's responsible. There's no course to sell you. There's no service to sell you. There's no secret sauce I'm selling you. Nothing. And that's never going to be something Capital Minds is going to provide to you. So yeah, that's camera's blurry, or the camera's not blurry. It's because it needs to focus on me. It's not focused. So you see the dawn again? Oh, yeah. Because if I did the desktop and stuff. All right. Well, also I have it on the lowest latency possible. So it should be working out. But yeah, that's the gist of it. And also, just to keep in mind, so one thing when you guys saw the weighted gain, I think some of you already knew that, but the weighted gain actually it punishes the viewpoint. So you saw this. Let me show you guys this. So you see this right here, right? So I'll zoom in. And I think some people got confused by this. So the weighted gain is only taken into account the gain that's built into it. It obviously doesn't show you the total gains of the portfolio up until that point. People have asked me and tried to like goat me into showing, the portfolio gains for the the period of time. And there you go. You got the glimpse that you've probably been asking for. So now you know. But you can see here every time that I took profits in an investment, when you see like the past investments, when I took profits in an investment and you saw the portfolio change over time, that reduced the weighted gain because the weighted gain is only calculating the built-in gain into the portfolio. So presently, there's only about 34.21% built-in gain from the positions. But there are positions that we made, decent profit on in the shorter term. So remember Cardinal Health, we made good profit on that one. I think it was 50+%. We made good profits on Barbecue Holdings. We made good profits on BHP. We made very good profits on ConocoPhillips, extremely good profits on ConocoPhillips. We made good profits on Gazprom, and then we rebought Gazprom and we lost all of that. But still compared to the gain, it was nothing. We made good profits on Unum that we still haven't realized, but realized on Unum. And then there were also the call options. There were also the specialty products. We talked about it in the past, but again, I don't recommend anyone even. I'm even refraining or thinking about refraining from even mentioning the product. But I feel like you guys are responsible adults. Like there's products like TTT and to get exposure to the inverse yields of, let's say you think rates are going to rise, you can buy a product like that and really you're basically shorting treasuries. And then you can go long treasuries and other various products. You go figure that out for yourself. I'm not going to be promoting those products here. But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as things are changing. I'm going to be, I guess I can leave you guys off with this. Of course, in discussion, I'm going to not be like, oh, I'm not going to tell you or anything like that. People can ask and we can start a conversation that way. I'm not going to be like, oh, there's not like a special club or anything like that. But yeah, I'll leave it open to questions, and that's all I want to say. Sorry I missed the interview for the Discord a couple of weeks ago. I went since live in a different time zone. Yeah, Christopher, you just have to and then some of the interviewers, they can get to you, or if I'm on, I can get to you. It's just about, I'm not going to YOLO into Perry. That's actually a funny thing. Trying to see all the questions. Weighted gain equals unrealized gain. Yes, the weighted gain equals unrealized gain. Yeah, that's a very good way to actually put it. But I said that always in the beginning videos, explaining how this is going to work or how this was going to show. And I think some people always get still confused, but it's because I don't explain it every time. But I guess it made sense to a lot of you guys because you guys could do the math. All you had to do was see, okay, what's the gain in there, and then what is the weighting, and then how do you get to the 34.21 right now? And of course, that's been reducing over time because if you go back to the original videos, you can actually see how much was the unrealized gain in there. And I think it was started out when we started this series, it was over 100-something%. But again, as it came down, as we realized profits over this time. And what I'm doing now is I'm shifting strategies. You guys know earlier on in this year, we made some shifts in strategies. Like we got out of REITs, we got out of banks in the very beginning of the year, just before, and we got out of a lot of the other kinds of stocks. And what we focused on is switching into some different names, like again Cardinal Health. We had we bought some AGRD, we bought some other stocks here and there that have performed really well this year. Netflix was like the biggest in terms of percentage gains, and also in terms of allocation gains. But now I want to switch as the markets kind of come down. I'm going to switch my strategy again and roll some of that over, as well as contribute all this new capital into a bit more of a concentrated play. And that's going to be, again, just, for me, and that way I can think about it calmly, collectively, not having to worry. What all you guys should be doing is you can follow along. I'm still going to be doing YouTube videos and talking about different companies, but, just dollar cost averaging your index fund, and then, play around with some of your money. That's not for me for now, but, how much Intel did you buy, Bob Smith? It still hasn't changed. So it hasn't updated. This hasn't updated since 10/28, but the dollar terms is still the same. The percentage terms have changed because other things have grown. So I've already started to make some changes. But Intel's not much. It's not much. I sold Molson Coors Brewery for a profit, and I rolled that into Intel, basically. So I just rolled it into Intel. No, Armando, no. That's not what happened at all. No. This is just for me, and just basically exiting this. I'm still going to be doing portfolio updates privately. But no. That's not even a thing. That's not even a thing. That's something that Everything Money. I know you're joking, but like for everyone who doesn't know, that's why. What do you think about office REITs, cheap valuation? Yeah, they're cheap, but right now my REIT focus is going to be, again, my portfolio is going to be far more concentrated like it used to be back in the day. And how it originally grew a lot was through this concentration, or through, I guess, good concentration. But the REITs that I'm focusing on buying is like Realty Income, Agree Realty, stuff like that, more sleep well at night stocks, and focusing on building that up. Did lawyers advise you? On the long way drive down, we'll watch this. Okay, yeah, you'll watch this. It should be short, by the way. This live stream should be short. I'm gonna cut it around 7:30, because I don't want to just rant about nothing here. Okay, so I think the concentration can pose a risk to lay investors. You're better off not sharing that. Yeah, that's the reason. That is exactly the reason. So it doesn't benefit me in any way, and I don't think it will benefit the vast majority of people in any way. And if anything, I could be completely wrong. And if I'm wrong, I'll be wrong by myself, right? So it's just better that way. It's just better that way. Good question. So JMac, this is including all accounts. So if you saw the screenshots, I have it allocated all accounts. So it's not just my taxable accounts, it's my non-taxable accounts, retirement accounts. It also ports in from the other Well, it's basically porting in from all the accounts. So when you go to the menu at the top, you can select all accounts, or you can select individual accounts, and it lets you visualize them that way. So that's with everything. And the only one that's missing in there is like that M1 Finance account, but I told you it's like $800. Well, actually now it's grown to $900. I just checked it the other day, and it's only one position. In fact, that's one that I don't really care. It's all in AGRD actually. Because that one I just piled it in. Okay, so just curious. Oh, I already answered that one. Any thoughts on Celine's earnings? We actually talked about that one today in the call, and there's some homework I need to do on their acquisition, but the market is kind of giving it a bit of a discount now, and a decent discount relative to what they paid for the DuPont business. So they paid about 10 times EV to EBITDA on the DuPont business, and they're trading at a discount relative to their sector. Their sector's trading at about a 6.6 EV to EBITDA. They're trading at like a 5.6 EV to EBITDA. I don't have the numbers in front of me. So definitely I want to kind of make sure. You can kind of see Celine's hasn't been added to really largely. It's sitting at 1.9% of the portfolio. So yeah. I can kind of say some of these things, some of these changes before I leave you guys off with this stuff. But I did a review with the community on Warner Brothers Discovery. And with this one, I think it might follow. It has the potential to follow a Teva Pharmaceuticals kind of trajectory where the market has to really see progress. Teva Pharmaceuticals has seen a tremendous amount of progress. I shared this with some of you, so this is going to be repeating myself. So I apologize for that. But if you guys know anything about Teva Pharmaceuticals, it's a company I've been following for a long time. So let me show you why. I've been following it since around this time period. And so this whole time it's down about 83.15%. And the story behind this, it's really interesting. It's a good lesson. They're very influential or very widespread medical company within the in the generics business. You might have heard me talk about them when I talked about Viatris, which is the American one. And so Teva Pharmaceuticals, they had a similar issue with over leveraging themselves. And so tons of leverage. New CEO comes in. He's actually managed to lower the leverage a lot. He's almost halved the debt. So they've progressed really well. But over the past 5 years, it's been dead money. So as they transition, and they're being successful at it, the CEO was given a really tough hand. As they're transitioning, you're going to probably have time to kind of wait and see. And I think that's what Wells Fargo, Warner Bros. Discovery is going to be. And if I think that, right, and it wasn't really high conviction. So right now I'm thinking it's one of the ones that's on the chopping block for sure. And just tax loss harvesting it because, if I'm being honest, it's not going to make much of a dent because it's only 1.9% of the portfolio. And so that 39% loss is really tiny. But it is what it is, whatever. It's still some money. So that if I think, I want to gain more exposure or get the same exposure back, I could just maybe sell now. And if I think it's going to be dead money for, years to come, I can afford to be patient, afford to kind of wait on it, sleep on it, and just watch the management team if they progress. But you can kind of see from the conviction I had in it, it's a small part of the portfolio. It was never big. But anyways, let me see. So we have another question. Would you invest in Rocket Lab, high risk, high reward? No. Right now, especially now, I'm kind of consolidating into my names that I have high conviction in. That's again why this change is happening. So I'm going to be consolidating a lot. I can tell you that probably my positions, they're going to go down to about 10 positions total. So 10 positions total is kind of like where I'm aiming at, where I can really focus on those names. Do you ever buy into bonds? Yes, but those aren't stocks, so they were never shown here, right? Or bond-like instruments, you could say. Things that were not stocks. If they were not stocks, they were not shown here. That's how it is. No stock, not shown here. That was kind of the thing from the get-go. This only included publicly traded stocks, and that's it. No special products, no options, nothing like that. I've done videos here and there on options, and I'd show you guys, okay, like this is the strike price. I'd show you guys the buy orders from the brokerage. I have a couple videos, but the thing is I'm not that kind of channel. I'm not trying to promote that kind of stuff. And I think most people don't even need them, but it's because people ask for them. And then so I did that, and it's funny because I would even do like the most crazy titles so that they wouldn't even be one of the more popular videos, because just as easily you could just, you know, have fun with it. I even did one time a thumbnail that I put like chicken tenders, and I just copy pasted chicken tenders across the whole thumbnail. So obviously it didn't do well as a video, but it was dedicated for those people that requested it. And so I let them know, okay, I made this video for you. Here you go. Let's see here. What are your thoughts on gold miners and you know, for example, reportedly really good earnings and pays a good dividend? You know, well, for me, I'm not getting involved in gold miners. That's not for me. That's not going to be part of my high conviction plays. I can tell you that for a fact. And yeah, it's just not for me. But could you? I think you'd have to first understand where's that commodity going, because that's what they are. All miners are basically derivatives, or their valuation is a derivative of the commodity. So you got to first understand that market before you want to get considered in that. When a REIT stops their dividend payment after making an acquisition, is that a sign of good management or a sign that the company is in trouble? Sign of the company's in trouble. Easy. What do you think about Qualcomm's inventory problem and guidance? Well, Qualcomm is a company I still like, actually, but the guidance is going to be a bit weak because we're going to go through a semiconductor, let's say, bear market. And I'm talking about from the sense where like demand destruction is kind of showing its face, its ugly face, within the actual industry as a whole. So it's not just Qualcomm, it's all the other ones too. So, but this is something that we could see. I made a video on Micron saying that Micron's kind of like the precursor, or memory is a precursor to the rest of the semiconductor industry. And that's conversations we had in the Discord community as well. But in the Micron videos, if you go back to them, I do talk about it there. But you'll probably see recovery first in those guys before you see recovery everywhere else. But yeah, that's one thing. Will your portfolio have a focus on semis in the next quarter, like at their top and bottom lines a lot? Will your portfolio have a focus on semis as the next quarter likely hits their top bottom lines a lot? So semiconductors, I will tell you that there are like a couple names that are probably going to make into the final version of the portfolio, but the transition for me is going to take a little bit because, again, I have a decent chunk of capital on the side, and also as I begin to sell off some of the non-conviction ancillary positions, they're going to be that capital is going to be transitioning into these more focuses. So I'm looking at some of them right now. A lot of you can probably guess what a lot of them are right now. I'll tell you, like, the ones that have a decent chunk of gains and they're smaller portions of the portfolio, you can, if you made a guess that those are the ones that are on the chopping block, you wouldn't be so far off. Okay, so I'll just say that. I think Meta would be trading over 150 if they kept their. Hayden's question that just came in about Meta, I have no idea. That's something else, but I think the only thing that I see that's like a problem for Meta is the fact that certain other YouTubers like it. And that really makes me question. I've talked to you guys about that. Like, the one thing I don't like about Meta, absolutely above everything else, is that certain YouTubers like it. That's my concern about Meta. That's my really big concern about Meta. The fact that certain, but that can't be a good reason. So then I'm ignoring that reason. But like, intuitively, my brain goes like, oh my God, he really likes that stock. Oh my God. Because I know how they think. And I'm just like, oh, do I really want to be involved in this? So what you're telling us is buy Bitcoin and shiny rock. Definitely not. Definitely not. You won't see me. I'll tell you, I'm not buying Bitcoin. That's what I'll tell you. That's not going to make it in the portfolio. So I'll talk about them over time, but for now they're going to remain private as to which ones they are. You could probably guess them, and if you guessed it, like I won't be a mean person. I'll say yes or no, like stuff like that. But there's not going to be like a portfolio update like this, because then I don't want to encourage anyone. If you want to invest in the market, broadly diversified, low cost index funds, that's it. You're done. You're literally done. That's all you got to do. And then you can listen to me. You can tune in on this channel. You can have fun, hang out, talk about stocks, find other people that like to talk about stocks, and then have fun doing that. You can do that. That's fine. But that's, at the end of the day, all you really need to do. And you're done. So capital mindset, do you want to go more international? It's not about, I don't look at it in the way of like, I want to get more exposure to international and non-international. I look for good companies I find at good value, but I'll look at it from the lens of understanding, is it being international something that might affect its performance? Yes or no? I'll care about that. So, for example, you guys know I not despise, that's a strong word, but I very much dislike Chinese ADRs, VIEs, right? I have tons of videos on them. And by the way, you guys know, of course, that based on the last portfolio update and even the video on it, I doubled the BABA position. A double is like a strong word. It sounds like it's a lot, but I doubled its size. And I'm up on the new shares a lot. Or not a lot, but a decent chunk. And I'm waiting for that she pump, so to speak. That's what I'm kind of waiting for. And so right now we haven't had the she pump. I just want the government to come in and say like, oh yeah, we're pro business or whatever. And then because I still do believe like the market doesn't really price in the lack of ownership. They price in the sentiment. They price in the direction she's going, or the uncertainty, the business uncertainty or whatever. And we've talked, of course, about, at least you guys can see also my podcast, because I talk about the situation in China. Like, for example, the population might not even be as big as they said, and their economy might not be as big as they said, right? So those are some topics that if you kind of put all those together, like, oh, this China narrative, right? It's not even doesn't even look that good, right? But I'm going to be keeping, and I'm not going to count those within that 10, by the way, the Prosus and BABA. As per my word from that video in December of 2021. As per my word. The only shares that are up for sale once I get that, what I call the she pump, the only shares are the new ones that I added for BABA. But I'm going to keep the originals. I won't sell them off until I profit and sell them to a higher bidder from them. So basically until I sell it to someone who's willing to pay me more than what I paid for them. And actually what's interesting is Prosus has really kind of closed the gap in a huge way. So that's kind of interesting. Copium for TTCF and pumping it. I'm 100% TTCF in my Roth IRA. Matthew Matlock, I know you're joking. But if you weren't joking, that would be a sad moment. Stop trying to own China. China is for the Chinese. That's the real capitalism works. Capital mindset, concentrated portfolio looks like this. 20% BABA, 20% JD, 20% TTCF, 20% Ally, because we were talking about Ally as a short idea, right? Oh my gosh, that would be hilarious. Ally Bank. Ally Bank, for those you don't know or remember, Ally Bank has a huge exposure to subprime auto loans as well as Credit Acceptance Corporation. Don't short it. Don't do that. That was something if I was forced to do that, if I was forced to short, I would maybe pick something around. Well, now they're down a decent chunk already, but was the game we played a while ago. So, but no, congrats on the early retirement, my friend. Yeah, I just shorted CACC too late. Yeah, well, okay, good luck to you. But maybe it'll do well. You hate ADRs but love ADC. I disavow. Well, ADC is a Gray Realty. That's not an ADR. What are you talking about? I don't know. Congrats on your new job as CFO of Palantir. You got a big job ahead of you. Oh yeah, thank you. Thank you for the congratulatory send off. I am now apparently the CFO of Palantir. Fabio's concentrated portfolio will be Meta, Google, GPN, Netflix, Intel, Perry, Activision, Amazon, perhaps. Some of those are in there. You got some of those, MLAD and BG. Definitely. Again, I'm not gonna deny it. Some of those no, but some of those yes. Oh yeah. Potato frogs. This has nothing to affect with the videos. So like the videos will still come out. I'll still do like requests and fulfill those requests as time goes on. This is just the end again of the portfolio updates for now. We'll see in a couple years from now whether or not I bring them back. But for now, no. What I am going to be doing is I'm going to be creating a new portfolio I've already created a new portfolio. I've created a new portfolio via a holding company. And I might actually share that to kind of showcase the construction of a brand new portfolio. And I might share that with the community. But it's going to more or less reflect maybe my larger holdings or larger portfolio. So I'm still on the fence on all that. Cal Mine said Google Sheets still be available. I mean, it'll still be available, but it's not going to be like up to date. So if it's available here, what I'm going to be doing is probably plastering all over the place that this is no longer the real thing, or this is no longer like the what's actually in the portfolio. This is very different, and it's just not going to update. It's just going to change with the daily fluctuations in price. So that's it. But that's it. Yeah, Poly Walnuts. Yeah, big banks are up 10% in like the last month. Yeah, no. Wells Fargo's done really well in the portfolio. But yeah. Let's do new portfolio updates. Like, I mean, I don't know if you're referring to like the new version of the portfolio, but yeah, not going to be doing those because just in case. But are you ever going to continue the course you started by any chance? Yes, M. Laden, I am continuing it. I just need to find the time. With everything going on, it is a bit tough to get into it without not sacrificing quality. Because I want those to be quality. I want them to actually provide something of value. Will you still be doing the YouTube portfolio updates? No. No, that's what this whole video is about, or live stream. No. The answer is no. He will be in the future when the market is back to all-time highs. Not even. I don't know. It will just depend on when I feel like, because I wouldn't want anyone to follow. I don't know. It just depends on the temperament of YouTube, the YouTube audience. If I feel like it's going to be positive or negative. Positive or negative in terms of like, encouragement of people. With as far as like, for example, the Discord community, like I notice a lot of people, they're all mostly like, not saying that like this community is really good, but there's these live streams, these videos get a lot of people who watch it, and you don't know any stranger who watches it, right? So it's just problematic. If I pay you $5, you do the grift. What is the grift? If Kevin sponsored 2K a month, would you consider continuing your portfolio updates? If I get Meet Kevin to sponsor you 2K a month, would you consider doing the portfolio updates? But why? Actually, Fabio, what made you decide to stop updating your portfolio in YouTube? Did you just join, by the way, M. Laden? Well, okay, so I don't want to repeat it too much, but if you watch this full live stream, it's because I'm going to be doing some changes. And I thought we discussed that, M. Laden, on the community Discord, but it's because I'm going to be doing some changes, and I don't want to encourage people to follow the changes, even regardless of me saying whatever, oh, don't follow me. I want to think on a clear mind, clear head when I'm investing, because I want to make money from my investments. I do. And if I look at it from the perspective of having that in the back of my mind versus focusing on making good investments, it's a bit problematic. So I want to focus just on my investments and not having to worry that me doing this is going to encourage other people to do that. So, but we can have conversations about my holdings here and there. You just, we talk about it, and I can ask. What are other YouTubers' portfolios am I supposed to shamelessly copy now? Yeah, you see, like that's the exact, I know you're joking, but that's the exact reason why this is stopping. Because of the change that's happening, I don't want someone to follow me on that change. So, yeah. Yes, hello world, this has been the real portfolio, just without dollars. I actually, what's funny? I feel like, you guys can speak up if you want, but I showcased one of the newer portfolios, and I showcased one like dollar figures and everything to some of the community members, and as an experiment, and they all told me to not show it ever again. You guys can speak up if you guys are the ones who saw it, but yeah. Hello world, that's exactly what we're not going to be discussing. Exactly that. There's no, we're not getting into that. We're not getting into that. Yeah, M. Laden. So right. So, but what did everyone say? So I shared it, and then everyone was like, no, stop it. So I figured like, you know, I'm still gonna, yeah. So I only showed you guys here today something that I haven't shown before, but it's because you know, I feel like I'll leave you guys off with that. So again, if you want to compare it to the emerging markets, we did pretty good compared to the emerging markets. We did pretty good compared to the NASDAQ composite, and we did pretty good, especially towards the end more recently. And then we did pretty good compared to the S&P. So again, dollars all blocked out. You can have your own imagination, whatever, it doesn't matter. That you're not gonna see that. Okay, so nearly everyone went. Yeah, I know. That was the. I didn't expect to have that reception, but Potato Frogs. It's not stopping. It's going to continue, except only private videos. They're all going to be privated videos. So I'm going to be doing like vlogging, like I'm doing, not right now, like not as if I'm doing right now. It's basically just going to be talking to myself, recording myself, talking about the portfolio changes I made, and I'll do probably on like a weekly basis or monthly basis, and then just document it, put it on YouTube privately, and then maybe in the future I'll unprivate them, but they'll be private because I still want to, like I was upfront with you guys about it from the beginning. This is a way for me to document this thought process, this over time, and have it all in one place. And YouTube's a great platform to host videos. It's great, right? I don't have to save it on my computer. Just host it on the website itself. It's great. Oh, so great question on making videos on Perry. The answer is no. No to making videos on Perry, just because of its relative size. I feel like you know, I have to express a degree of responsibility with that. So because of its size, I refrain from doing it. I know there's a lot of other large YouTubers, I'm talking like people with 700,000 subscribers, that absolutely do not give a flying F about making videos about a $50 million company. You know which one I'm talking about. He has 700,000 subscribers. He did not give a single F about making a video about a $50 million company. I think now it's like 30 million. I would never. You'd never catch me doing that. So, oh yeah. I can actually pull up here. Be patient with me, and I'll get the year-to-date performance. I gotta pull up. Where's my Okay. Thank you for asking. So what I'm gonna have to do is 10517. Okay. Just be patient with me, and I'll pull that up for you. Bum, ba, bum. Okay, so I go here, more count performance. All right, what I'm going to do is go to the year to date. And tell me what index you want it to compare it to. Hello world is for your question. So you just let me know what index you want. I'm going to take a screenshot of it, but tell me what index you want. S&P 500? All right, cool. Right now I have the NASDAQ, but the NASDAQ's performed worse this year, so. S&P 500. Let me see, it should be this one, PR. Now let me make sure they have two here. I'm gonna get the best one. All right, the better one is S&P 500. Let me see. What is this TR? Oh, TR is total return. So we're going to do the total return of the S&P 500, not the price return. So PR and TR. So that's what that means when you see TR. So I'm going to use TR. I'm going to put my portfolio next to it, all accounts, and I'm going to take a snipping. All right, let's put it over here, and I'm going to not. Oh, wait, let me redo that because I want to show that it's all accounts. New. Oh, wait, hold on. That failed. New. All right, there we go. Wait, let me zoom out actually because no, it's not showing you the imagery. Zoom out, and zoom out one more time. All right, cool. Let me Get snipping tool out. All right. You guys who use this brokerage probably already know what brokerage it is, but it is what it is. All right, so you asked for the year to date compared to the S&P 500 total return. All right, so I don't need to save this image. I'll just show you the image. There it is. You can't compare it in this broker to Berkshire, but yeah, I mean, it's easy for you to do. So the year to date is 9.63%. S&P's performance is negative 19.683. There you go. There's your answer. This is the only time I'm going to be doing that, by the way, because people have tried to, like, you know, goat me in the past to doing it. But this is just for, you know, if you guys are asking. Here's the time to ask. VT, I actually tried. They don't have like a comparison to VT that I could find. If someone knows what it's called. So yeah, I don't know comparison to VT. I have the international fund total market index, but I think the total market index is actually this total market index might be it. No, I think the total market is like VTI equivalent. But yeah. Show us dollar gains. Subscribers like LaFufu. Woo! Yeah, you see, like if I show no, I'm not going to show the dollar gains, but you guys can have your imagination on that, whatever. We'll miss the updates, but honestly, it's a knowledge Fabio has. Thank you, AIR9. Yeah, I can't compare it to Berkshire. Trying to go with all the questions. Where do you get your investment ideas? Oh, I just explore, find them, and come up with them. Where do you determine that summer's high? Or I have conversations with people, and then they might present a stock that I look into, and I go, oh, okay. But I'll always do my own research. So how do you determine that something is high conviction stock? If I can understand it and derive a value of where I think that there's some sort of deviation between what the market thinks is value and what I think is value. And if, especially, I like to find ones that, you know, there's something that I can kind of figure out about that business, and the market maybe thinks something else might happen with that business, but I know for one reason or another that, you know, or at least I have conviction that that's not the case. Why are some of your stocks holding phase when they're down on your initial buy price and too heavily weighted? Why are some of your stocks in the holding phase when they're down? Well, I talked about that in the past, and it's because they might be holding if I don't want to add more to it. But that's supposed to be like with a grain or salt. Accumulating and holding can change on a dime, really. So, yeah. Fabio, your 4K subs won't affect your $1 billion market cap in Perry, in my opinion. Yeah. You know what? I'll do it. I'll do it. You're right. You're right. I'm being a little bit too crazy with that. I'm being a little bit too crazy. But people have to know that I'm biased on it for sure. So yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. Plan B. You convinced me. You convinced me. You made a good point. You made a very good point. Why don't you ever buy biotechs, bro? Big pharma shill. I know who you are. Will you still do any videos on companies in your Yes, no, of course. Yeah. It just won't be like portfolio update videos like doing this. This is done. All by Perry? No. No worries. It's plan B, NL. No worries. Yeah, you convinced me to do it. Okay, so any last questions? Otherwise, we're going to head out. But love the stream. You know, you guys are pretty understanding, I guess. Will you be able to see the sheet updated? No. It's not going to be updated. I'm going to give a disclosure, or I'm just going to stop the linkage. The thing is, I don't want to stop the linkage because, you know, we also have the YouTube index. What will you guys do without the YouTube index? What will you guys be able to do? You guys, if you without the YouTube index, what will you know what to buy? I'll cry without it. So I'm probably gonna just keep it there, but I'm gonna give like a little warning that this is not being updated. So it's not gonna be updated. I'm not gonna enable it to update any further. So for the time being. Okay, so then we see. I love seeing my performance on the YouTube index. Yeah, that's what you bought, Ricky. Oh man, Ricky, I'm just gonna say. Question: have you ever been able to reach Rob Berger? No, no. Oh, that's right. I'm supposed to reach out to Rob Berger. I have not. I have not, Lincoln Vu. I'm not. Remind me on Discord to do that, and I will be sure to do that. Just kind of maybe homeless. That's funny. All right, guys. Any? Do you prefer Google Sheets to Excel? Why or why not? I prefer Excel in terms of its functionality, but Google Sheets is also really cool to plug in stuff that I can create outside. So like, if you guys seen the model that I have, I built a lot of stuff outside Google Sheets and enabled it to kind of work with Google Sheets. So Google Sheets works really well. Not that Microsoft Online might not also work with it, but it is what it is. Are you going to join? No. Hello world. Those questions will not be answered. Do you prefer? Okay, I already answered that one. Yes, that's your portfolio was talking about the YouTube index. Oh yeah. The YouTube index will keep being updated, so you guys can come back to this, and yeah, I'll be updating it because this isn't linked to anything at all. So with this one, I just have to make sure that I'm updating, every time to do a stock split or whatever, because it's not linked to anything. So I have to manually update certain things, and this is obviously not real money. This is like a hypothetical $1 million invested into this. And the portfolio has lost about $240,000 on that allocation. And you also have to keep in mind, this would be performing way worse if the YouTube index was started earlier. And you can see right there, it says warning, do not copy, because this is not a portfolio. This is just putting all the talked about stocks on YouTube into an index and following them as they change. You have two different weighting styles, and you can see how they've performed thus far. Let's see here. Can you do a video on how we value stocks? I mean, I hope that's like mostly what a lot of my videos are about. I'm guessing. Oh, well, you can have fun with the guess. You should join EM and make a video about your thoughts on the community that you have to pay. Oh, you meant join. Okay, I thought you meant. Okay, I think you meant like join their organization. No. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I do that. I'm waiting for my time to free up a little bit. All right, guys, this is already longer than I originally anticipated. We're about an hour. I'll close it off at exactly an hour. And then other than that, if you have any final questions. Oh, no, I already had dinner, Bashar. But thank you. I already had dinner. My buddy and we went out to dinner, and then so we just came back. So no, any closing questions, and then otherwise, we're done. And this is it. I'll still do live streams, but it won't be like, portfolio update live streams. And of course, for video coming. Cheers. Have you read The Intelligent Investor? Yes. Hello world. I have. But when will the EM video review coming? That will be after I do. Well, if I'm being honest, it doesn't need that much of a review other than the fact that their public videos speak for themselves in terms of Paul's understanding of public markets and basic understanding of, let's say, very, very, very basic accounting knowledge. So, yeah, I'm late to Strongman stream. Oh, he's streaming right now? Yeah, we'll try to set up doing a Rue Rabble stream at some point in the future. But, yeah. Can you give us a list of the best investors of all time, top 5? I'm going to not be vanilla. I'm going to not use Warren Buffett. Well, you know what? We're going to use Warren Buffett. So throughout the time period, probably Warren Buffett is like Grandpa Warren. I don't know what to call him. Like he's very good at talking and explaining things and just being a very likable person. So there's also that about him, and he likes to simplify the concept or idea really well to retail investors, and that's always appreciable about him. And he's been very successful. So I put him like as an all-rounder. He's number one. And then you have Peter Lynch in terms of short duration performance, but also afterwards, because he's done things with his wife's account, etc. He's definitely got what it takes. He's proven that. So then he's definitely there, and he's still also really good with his words, really good at explaining. And then let me think of another. Howard Marks, one of the best bond investors. Stanley Druckenmiller has had really good moments in the past, like really, really good moments. Jim Chanos has had really good shorts in the past. He's kind of marred by his performance with Tesla, but I feel like that's really unfair. When you kind of look and take a step back at the big picture, he's done really well. But those are like two guys who are like, one's a bond vigilante, the other one's I'm thinking like the ones who are kind of over. There's a lot of them that are overrated, but I'm not going to say their names. Anthony Deaton is another one. He's really good. More so on the private side of things. They all have like their own flavor. Like Li Lu's been pretty good, but like I'm not gonna. Some of them I do think there's a lot that are overrated, but yeah. Okay, so let's see here. But by the way, this sheet right here, just everyone joining in, this is the YouTube index. The YouTube index. This is the trash. All right. Okay, so no, I don't use Guru Focus. Bernie Madoff, I love it. Ackman's pretty good too. Jack Bogle's goated. Jack Bogle is goated because he's also done a lot for the retail investor. So, someone said Paul Gabriel. Oh my gosh, yeah. He's the greatest of all time. Mo from EM, also one of the other greatest of all time. All right, with that being said, guys, I'll close it off because we passed the hour. Lovely live stream. I'll be seeing you guys on the next one, and bye.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. F it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. F***ing thing sucks.
Yeah.